You know how when one sibling does something weird, the automatic response is that the weird sibling is adopted? Well, I take offense to that. I'm adopted. That doesn't make me weird that I shower with arm floaties, that I like cereal with yogurt, not milk, that I use my towel as a washcloth and my washcloth is a towel. It allows for greater accuracy. All of those things are weird, but have nothing to do with my being adopted. Whenever people find out that I'm adopted, I'm always met with two responses. The first is that they have to tell me someone who they know is adopted, or who has been adopted. It's almost as if they believe there is some secret club of adopted people. They're right. We meet in a series of intricate underground tunnels, and we plot ways to increase membership. We have t-shirts, secret handshakes, and tattoos separating us from the NAs, the non-adopteds. Our membership in this club awards us certain privileges. We receive discounts on cars and groceries. During the tax season, the benefits really roll in. Aside from these benefits, we cash in on extra holidays. We receive presents for the day we were brought home, and we receive presents on the anniversary of our court dates. It's a pretty sweet club. And no, adopting a highway does not grant you membership into this club. The second common response is to inquire what it's like to be adopted. Well, growing up, I didn't think that much of it, but now that I think about it, I'm a little angry. Why weren't there any Brad and Angelinas back in the day? No, instead, I'm stuck with Dave and Peaches Sansom. Whoop-de-doo. But seriously, the question is almost impossible to answer. What is it like for the NAs not to be adopted? It's just a label. I didn't grow in Peach's tummy, but she is still my mom. And although Dave is no Brad Pitt, he is still a pretty cool dad. When it comes to adoption, I'm no expert. I am only an expert in my experience. I come from an open adoption. For those of you who don't know, there are two basic types of adoption: open and closed. In a closed adoption, the records are sealed and there is next to no contact between the birth family and the biological family. In an open adoption, there is a relationship. Sometimes, the families are very close. Other times, they may only share very basic information. My brother Isaac is adopted, and therefore, a member of the club. With his case, he and his biological mom and biological siblings are very close. They would get together 2 or 3 times a year, but they are always on the phone, writing letters, and sending pictures. Isaac comes from a very open adoption. My adoption plan is also open, but not as open as Isaac's. I know who my birth mother and father are and what they look like, and I know who my biological siblings are and what they look like, but that's about it. I keep in loose contact with them through Facebook. It's fun to see where their lives have gone and are going. And while we may not live together, they are a part of the Sansom family. So in one sense, Dave and Peaches Sansom have 2 sons, but their 2 sons have 3 other brothers and 4 other sisters. So I've told you some benefits about being in the club. Now I want to share with you a couple stories about what it's really like to be in the club. First off, you get a lot of sympathy. I was out shopping with my mom, and we had just left the store when one of her students passed by. We stopped to say hello, and my mom introduced me to her. The girl said that she could tell the resemblance. Right. My mom and I took one look at each other and smiled. The girl asked what was wrong. We told her that I was adopted, and she immediately started apologizing. It was awkward. The next story goes back to 1st grade, when every kid had to tell their class their family details. By then, I had figured out that I had 4 brothers and 4 sisters, so I was ready when my teacher asked me about my family. I boldly stated that I had 8 siblings total. I was feeling pretty good after my statement, because at that age, whoever has the most wins. The teacher knew that I lived with only 1 brother, so my response to that, I'm adopted. She didn't believe me. I was determined to show her the truth, so that night I went home and made my mom write down on a piece of paper that I had 4 brothers and 4 sisters. She signed it and dated it. The next day, I handed the teacher the piece of paper, and that settled the dispute. What have we learned from all this rambling and storytelling, other than Peaches is a great name? What I hope you all come away with is something very important to me, and that is this. There is no one way to build a family. Family is more than blood and shared genes. It's relationships. It's about finding out who we care about the most and loving them as much as we can. It can't be all about blood and shared genes. Because if that were the case, husbands and wives couldn't be family. Near the beginning of this speech, I made light of the fact that people always feel the need to mention they know somebody who is adopted. I hope that's always the case. I hope people always know somebody who is adopted, because adoption beautifully illustrates what's most important about family. Love. Love the birth parents demonstrate in making an adoption plan for their birth child. Love from the adoptive parents for taking care of their child. Love from the child to both the birth and adoptive parents, and to the love they will have for their future children, however they come into their lives. Thank you.